Hey everybody, how's it going? A little bit of a sidetrack here. This is a personal project of mine, and I want to get going on it too. You guys are enjoying the bottom end build, so let's do another one. This is a 281. 281, 181. I don't know, the tag's missing. I think it's probably a 281. Might be a 181 though, like I said. I want to build a bigger saw on the channel. We don't do a lot of big saws around here. Just gonna bag everything. So I want to see what kind of power we can get out of a bigger saw. So I'm gonna start taking this saw apart. Let's split it. Remember this saw, if you go back, I put oil in the bottom end of this saw like 2 months ago, I think. The bearings were starting to pile up. It had been sitting under a shelf. Our friend TK from BC. Hey buddy, how's it going? I'm just going to stand up here for a second, friends. Our friend TK from BC donated this saw to the channel. I took it apart when I unboxed it, I believe. And it looked good inside. The top end looked good. Top end looked good, but the bearings were kind of crunchy. So I don't know if it just sat too long or what the deal is. Cases have some damage like a lot of these did. This was a logging saw or something of that nature. It's missing some screws, bolts, fasteners, but we'll deal with that as it comes. I want to see how this bottom end is. I'm probably just going to go ahead and put bearings in it right now. I got a box down here for all the parts. This muffler's Garbaggio. Okay. So basically, if you've never worked on one of these are like a large 266. They're so similar. This saw has like a brand new top cover on it. Kind of neat. NOS maybe. These are like a big 266. I can't remember. I believe this saw has spark. Let's check again. Just for later on Tinman to you know, help later on Tinman with right now Tinman's ability to know what this saw needs, if that makes any sense. It's missing the, oh, this thing doesn't even pull over now. Okay, well, let's just keep on going then. I filled this thing full of grease, I believe, or oil to see if the bottom end would feel any better. I can't remember what I done, friends. It's on video when I unboxed this a while ago. Okay, I want to see what I can make out of this. So this saw has a trigger or igniter, some guys call them igniter, crank trigger, and a coil. So this is good old school kind of stuff here. Has the same intake block as, I believe, a 266. I haven't done one of these in a while. Okay, we'll throw that over there. I want to show you guys how easy these are to take apart. Here, I'll bring you guys in close and you guys can check this out. I apologize for the crickets. They're just... We went from drought and famine to crickets. It's the cricket apocalypse now. Okay, so we're missing a bolt there. Here's your choke. Just want to make sure you guys can see me here. Oh yeah, you guys can see good. Here's your choke rod. Pop it off. Bing bang boom. These are so easy to work on. Little grommet there. This class of saws they're my favorite because they're relatively cheap to find. Parts are still available. They're easy to work on, and they really don't give you much trouble. I mean, they're good, reliable saws. They're not going to keep up with the modern stuff, but they're close enough. There's a lot of these in my area. 281s, 288s. It's probably the most common big saw that there is. Okay. Let's get this top end unbolted. I think it is this size. Yeah, there we go. I think I just loosely put this back together. We'll find out. Again, I'm not sure what this is. I think it's a 281. Oh no, it's a 181. It has a governed carburetor. That's a sign. So we're gonna have to we'll put a 288 carb on this and see if we can get this thing to rock and roll. I think these crank bearings are obviously Kaputski because this thing doesn't even want to move now. Okay. Look at that, one piece just like that. This top end's got a lot of miles on it. I'm sure this saw would still run, but the bottom end kind of scares me. So when in doubt, get them bearings out. That should be a t-shirt. Okay friends, we'll just put this off to the side right now and take our ring off. We're going to split this thing right here now. Oh, it's even worse now. Yeah, and it's funny, this thing wasn't that bad. Okay, well, give me a second. I forgot. I thought I had the clutch loose, but I don't. Just give me a second here, friends. I'll get that clutch off of there. Okay, we got the flywheel off, the clutch. Hey, we haven't done a turd saw in a while. Here. This piece right here was just sitting there. Back to our roots, friends. We're doing a turd saw. This is the stuff that I like. Okay, this crank is fine. It feels fine, the crank bearings, but the actual, like the big rod bearing is fine. The actual crank bearings feel awful in this saw. Let's get the handle off here. Again, this is just me horsing around. This is a saw for me, and let's see what kind of power we can get out of this class of saw, whether it be a 281 or a 288. Oh, we got stripped bolts. Oh, nice. There we go. This is 100%, 110% a turd saw. Now, those of you that have been around know that turd saws is where we started on this channel. And I love building turd saws. Yeah, they take more time and there's issues with fasteners and yada yada yada, but I mean, okay, so we're also missing a coil bolt. We got another one of these that we can rob parts off of. Let's make one good saw out of two ugly saws. We still got that 288 from the Simple Man that we've never done anything with. That thing's pretty rough. It is what it is. Holy smokes. Yeah, that 288 from the Simple Man needs cases. I have cases. So I was always planning on just swapping cases on that saw, but this one came into my possession. This thing's definitely got its issues, but let's build a saw out of it. We got another little crack there. We might take this apart and find out that these cases are no good. So I do have another set. And in fact, I think I'm just going to go ahead and look at that, friends. Another bad mount. These have the same bad mounts as 266, 272s. Good thing I ordered two sets of mounts instead of one when I started this. When I started bucking saw, I ordered two sets of mounts, so we're good. There we go. Okay. There you go. There's our handle assembly. Throw that in the box. Okay, I'm going to blow this thing off and get it squeaky clean, then we'll split it. Give me a few minutes, folks. Okay, I blew this thing off and I was just waiting for my compressor to finish. Just like a 266. I wanted to show you guys this because to see how similar these two saws are. Okay, 266 or just like that, has a seal in there. Okay, same style oil pump. This oil pump is not in the best of shape. I have a spare here somewhere. Again, we'll just throw that in the parts bag. Look at this, folks. I never liked this design. You see that? That's the fun of working on old saws. You never know what you're going to find in there. And that is right into the bearing. Okay, I'm going to blow this out. I'm going to blow this out and let's get these cases split. Okay. That's good stuff there. Well, we'll see what we can do with this. If these cases seem to be sound, we'll build a saw out of this. Okay, circlip, push out the wrist pin, the gudgeon. Gudgeon is apparently Australian for wrist pin, says Bill Block. I say it's a wrist pin. There we go. Get that moving. It's kind of stuck in there. So what happens with these old saws, this is an old power saw, and it's been run hard. There we go. I'm guessing this is a 281 top end. There's no decomp in it, and I'm guessing if I measured it, it would be 52 millimeter versus 54. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this circlip and I'm going to put it back in the piston so I don't lose it. OEM circlips are handy to have around. Never know when you might fling a circlip across your shop, and typically these are good. See if I can do it on camera. There you go. Okay, we're going to stuff this in here for now. Okay, let's split another cylinder. I'm on a roll here with these lately. There we go. I want to see how bad these bearings are. They feel awful. I want to inspect the crank also. There we go. Nobody can fault this for not having tight case bolts. These were not coming out. This saw's probably been rebuilt multiple times. I don't know though. It's hard to tell. You can't tell if there's an OEM top end put back on it, that's for sure. Okay. This thing is dirty, dirty, dirty. This out of here. We got one more. It's one thing about working on new power saws. It's just weird. They're so clean. Like, look at this thing. Look at my hands, friends. I don't feel like I've done a job unless my hands get dirty. Now, I think this was missing a case bolt, or the case bolt's broken off in there. Nope, missing. Okay. Now for an appearance from our special friend on the channel, Casey McSplits a lot. Just want to show you guys. So you guys have seen me do 266s with this. Now let's do a 288, 281, 181. Bigger bearings, much bigger saw. Maybe I should back you guys up here a little bit. Ah, you guys can see pretty good, eh? Again, making sure that this is on either side and it's touching the bearing, and then make sure that this is level. See how it's not level? Okay. And again, friends, don't be afraid to, okay? I'm going to start pressing this apart and I want to see. Now, first things first, make sure all your case bolts are out. Okay. This thing doesn't want to move. Now you can see there's a little bit of a gap in the cases. Ready? There you go. Look at all that space now. It's just that simple. Don't hurt yourself trying to take these apart. Once they start moving, that's it. It's over. They're coming apart. Just, you got to get them moving. Okay, there we go. One side. There's your one side. Oh, this thing's nasty inside. Grody. Super grody. On a saw like this, you never know what it's going to do until you got to take it apart. You can't say, yeah, I can build a saw out of that. Especially something that's been logged with, which this probably has at some point. You can see that these cases have had water in them. See that? It's fighting me. Oh, there we go. There you go. See, once you get it going. There you go. These case splitters are worth their weight in gold. Okay, friends. Well, there you go. Now, you can see this had water in the bottom end. You see that milky color? Not the best thing. I'm just going to spray this out real quick here. Okay, friends. We cleaned up the crank. Doesn't look too bad, actually. No play. It's actually very tight. No discoloration. Top's a little dark, but that's pretty common on an old saw. So I think we got a good crank out of this deal. These bearings. So yeah, this one, the flywheel side is completely toast. So now I'm on the fence. Do I want to use these cases? There is a crack somewheres down here. Yeah, so the bottom of this one's cracked. Other than that, the cases look okay. They're not terrible. I was digging through my junk here, friends, and I found these cases. Oh, and they're barn fresh. These are a nice shape. The paint's still on them and that. 281 tag. But we get major corrosion inside, so I don't know. These, oh, the bearing pockets don't look terrible. There's definitely some corrosion here. I don't know. I'll have to hit this with some Scotch-Brite. Same thing. Look at this side. My buddy had to absolutely beat the crankshaft out of this. It was stuck. Here, you guys want to see a seized crankshaft? Here. Here, friends. I don't know what happened to this saw, but I believe it was sitting too long and it got seized. So there you go. Oh, I freed it up. Funny how that works. I don't know if I would ever use this, but you guys get the idea. Okay, so in the meantime, I will clean and inspect these cases. I don't know which I'm going to use, whether it'll be this set or the original set. These are definitely in better shape. Hey, I got an on-off switch on this set. This one's missing. These are in better shape. I'll have to check out these bores. There's a little bit of corrosion here. But this is just what you run into. But it's not broken on the bottom. So these are 281 cases. These are 181 cases, you can tell. There are some, see there's a cutout there. Or there isn't. There are some discrepancies between the two. So just thought I'd show you guys that. It's kind of interesting. Inside they're identical. 281, 181. Doesn't look like they changed much. Okay, friends, well, that's what we're up to today. I wanted to tear this saw down. I oiled the bottom end a while ago, knowing it wouldn't come apart, but I wanted to see. Again, I'd like to build a 288. So that's what we're going to do with this saw. We're going to build a nice, strong, Tinmanized 288, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. We've never done a 288 on the channel. I started doing that one of my buddies, and then he called me after work one day and came and picked it up, and I went, wait a minute, I forgot to film the end of it. So that's the one we ran 3-4 months ago on the channel. I didn't even go wild on that. I just did a little bit of work to that saw, and it runs really good. So the question is, what can I do if I really turn one up? First thing I noticed with this, this one's broken here and here, so I think I'm probably going to try and save these cases. These are still usable, but it would be nicer to go ahead and use the better set of cases. I do have that 288 there from Simple Man. That one, the cases are toast. They're broken on the front, so we do potentially have another crank if we need one. But I think, from what I can see here, friends, I think we got a good start. I do have a couple of different top ends we can bolt on here, and as we have time, let's pick apart this project. Anyhow, friends, I gotta go to the dump because it's garbage day. You know what day's garbage day where I live? Whatever day I take it to the dump, because that's the way it works out here. That is one thing I miss about city living, is somebody taking my garbage for me. But there's so many reasons to live in the country that for me, it outweighs living in the city. Living in the country is the way to be for this fella. Okay, well, we're nice and dirty. I'm excited. Yeah, I can't wait to build like a nasty 90cc power saw, because, you know, bigger's always better, isn't it? Most of the time. Look at this top cover. This is like NOS type stuff here. This is almost too nice for this saw. Maybe we'll have to put that Turdy 288 top cover on it. I think I might actually do that just because it'd be funny. Anyhow, friends, as always, thanks for watching. Take her easy, and we'll just pick away at this project a little at a time. We got a lot of saws on the go right now, and we'll pick at this as we have time. Because again, I would rather do work for my friends that send saws here and do content than make more saws for me. It is nice for me to get a saw once in a while in the fleet that absolutely rips, but we got lots of time for that. Okay, friends, I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Later.